Somewhere between who you were and who you are becoming, there is a decision waiting on you, not a small decision, not a convenient one, a decision that will demand you stop surviving and start transforming. Because the truth is, your life is not stuck, your thinking is. Your circumstances didn't imprison you, your mindset negotiated a long-term lease with fear, doubt, and delay. You've been asking for change, praying for elevation, hoping for a breakthrough, but still holding on to the same pattern. That broke you. You want a new chapter while rereading the same page. You want a new future while clinging to an expired version of yourself. And life keeps asking you the same question. When are you going to shift? Here's the first truth that will change everything. You cannot heal in the same environment that taught you to bleed. Some of the things you call loyalty are actually chains. Some of the habits you call comfort are silent assassins of your potential. You don't need more motivation, you need separation. Separation from what keeps feeding the old you while starving the next you. You've been trying to grow without changing soil. You can water a seed all day long, but if the ground is poisoned, nothing healthy will rise. That's why growth feels painful, because elevation always demands excavation. Before anything new is built, something old has to be torn down. Here's the second truth. Your mind must be renovated before your life can be upgraded. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your beliefs, and some of you have been believing lies dressed up as facts. You were told you were too much, too slow, too broken, too late, but the voice that named your wounds does not get to define your worth. Stop rehearsing what hurt you and start rehearsing who you're becoming. Every time you replay the pain, you reinforce its power. But when you speak vision, you activate momentum. Your words are not just sounds, they are blueprints. Speak failure long enough and you'll live in its architecture. Speak faith long enough and you'll walk into rooms you never thought you deserved. Here's the third truth. Waiting for confidence before you move is how destiny dies quietly. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes because of it. You don't step out because you're ready. You step out because staying where you are has become unbearable. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the refusal to let fear be the decision maker. You've been asking, what if I fail? But the better question is, what if I succeed and don't recognize myself anymore? Growth is scary because it requires you to say goodbye to familiarity, even when familiarity was hurting you. But hear this clearly. What you lose by growing will never compare to what you lose by staying the same. Here's the fourth truth. Not everyone can go where you're going, and that's not arrogance, that's alignment. Some people were assigned to a season, not a lifetime. They were there to teach you, not to travel with you. Stop dragging people into your future who are still emotionally invested in your past. You don't need everyone to understand you. You need peace. You need clarity. You need space to become. And sometimes elevation feels lonely not because you're abandoned, but because you're ascending. Eagles don't fly in crowds. Here's the fifth truth. And this one requires honesty. Your excuses are more dangerous than your enemies. The enemy outside can only delay you, but the excuses inside can destroy you. You've blamed time, money, people, age, mistakes, but the real battle has been between who you say you want to be and who you're willing to release to become that person. At some point, you have to stop negotiating with your comfort zone. Growth doesn't ask permission. Purpose doesn't wait until it's convenient. Destiny doesn't knock forever. There comes a moment when opportunity turns into accountability. And here's the final shift, the one that changes everything. You are not behind, you are being prepared. Delay is not denial. Pressure is not punishment. Some of the weight you've been carrying was building strength you didn't know you'd need. The struggle didn't disqualify you, it refined you. So don't curse the process. Don't despise the season. Don't underestimate what's happening beneath the surface. Because when the shift happens, and it will, you won't just have a new life, you'll have a new mind, and when your mind changes, everything else has no choice but to follow. Somewhere between who you were yesterday and who you are becoming tomorrow, there is a decision waiting on you. It is not a small decision. It is not a simple choice you can brush aside. It is a decision that demands everything from your heart, your mind, and your spirit. And the truth is, your life is not stuck because of your circumstances. Your life is stuck because of the thinking that you've allowed to take root inside of you. You've built walls around your potential with fear, doubt, and old habits, and now you wonder why growth seems so slow. You wonder why the blessings you prayed for are delayed, but the delay is not denial. It is an invitation to shift your thinking. You've been asking for change, begging for breakthroughs, praying for elevation, but still holding on to the patterns that created your limitations. You want a new chapter, yet you keep rereading the same war, now pages. You want a new future, yet you cling to the version of yourself that is no longer capable of taking you there. Life keeps asking you the same question. When are you going to stop holding on to what is comfortable and start stepping into what is possible? Comfort has a way of pretending to be safety, but safety often disguises stagnation. And here is the first truth that will change everything. Healing does not happen in the same environment that taught you how to hurt. Some of the people you call loyalty are actually chains that bind you to yesterday. Some of the habits you call comfort are silent killers of your potential. You don't need more motivation. You need separation. Separation from the thoughts, the people, and the patterns that have been feeding the old version of you while starving the person you are meant to become. If you continue to water the same soil that has been poisoned with fear, doubt, and limitation, you cannot expect a harvest of greatness. Growth always demands excavation. Before the new can rise, the old must be torn down. You cannot rise higher with the same mindset that has kept you in the valley. Your mind must be renovated before your life can be upgraded. You don't rise to the level of your dreams, you fall to the level of your beliefs. And some of the beliefs you carry are lies dressed up as truths. You have been told you are too much, too slow, too broken, too late, and you have allowed those words to become a ceiling over your potential. The voice that named your wounds does not get to define your worth. You must stop rehearsing your pain and start rehearsing your vision. Every time you replay what hurt you, you reinforce its power, but when you speak the promise of what is possible, you activate momentum. Words are not empty sounds, they are blueprints for the life you will create. Speak failure long enough, and you will live under its architecture. Speak faith long enough, and doors you never imagined will begin to open. Confidence does not come before action. It comes because of it. Waiting until you feel ready is how dreams die quietly. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the refusal to allow fear to make your decisions. You do not step forward because you are fearless. You step forward because staying where you are is no longer an option. Growth will demand you leave some things behind, and not everyone can go with you. Some people are assigned to a season in your life, not a lifetime. Elevation is often lonely, because the higher you go, the fewer people can follow. There comes a moment in every life when waiting becomes the enemy of destiny. You've been standing at the crossroads of your purpose, wondering when the right time will come, asking for perfect conditions, seeking flawless confidence before taking the step that could change everything. But let me tell you the truth, confidence doesn't arrive before action. It is born out of action. You do not step out because you feel ready. You step out because you have finally realized that staying where you are has become unbearable. Every moment you wait for the stars to align, the universe is waiting for you to make the first move. Waiting is a luxury that ambition cannot afford. Every second you hesitate, life keeps moving, and doors you dream about are quietly swinging open for someone else who refused to wait for perfection. Fear has a way of convincing us that hesitation is wisdom, but hesitation is often the architect of regret. You've been asking, what if I fail, while ignoring the more urgent question, what if I succeed and never step into the fullness of my destiny? Growth is not designed to be comfortable. Transformation is never wrapped in a bow and delivered neatly to your doorstep. Transformation will demand that you say goodbye goodbye to what is familiar, even when familiarity has been hurting you quietly. It will require breaking habits, dismantling thought patterns, and releasing people who no longer belong to your journey. Comfort and familiarity can feel safe, but safety is often the coffin of potential. You cannot live the life you are meant to live while holding hands with what is holding you back. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the choice to move in spite of fear. Every breakthrough begins with a step that seems too small to matter, yet it carries the power to change your trajectory forever. You cannot wait for motivation to visit you. Motivation is the result of discipline, action, and the refusal to settle. Mediocrity, you must start before you are ready. You must speak before you feel confident. You must move before you are certain. Life rewards those who are willing to risk discomfort for the sake of their dreams. And here is a truth too many avoid. Not everyone can accompany you to the next level. And that is not rejection, it is alignment. Some people were assigned to a season in your life, not a lifetime. They are there to teach you, not to travel with you. Holding on to people who cannot rise with you is one of the greatest obstacles to your growth. Your elevation requires discernment. Your breakthrough demands focus. Sometimes the loneliness of progress is not a punishment. It is the sign that you are moving into spaces few are willing to enter. Your excuses are more dangerous than your enemies. External opposition can slow you down, but your internal negotiation with comfort and fear can destroy your future completely. You've blamed time, circumstances, age, finances, and mistakes. But the real battle has always been between who you claim to want to be and who you are unwilling to release in order to become that person. Delay is not denial. Pressure is not punishment. Every challenge, every setback, every uncomfortable season is preparing you for the greatness that lies ahead. You must learn to see the preparation as your friend, to see the pressure as your teacher, and to see every delay as an invitation to deepen your faith and fortify your resolve. There is a force quietly shaping your destiny, and it is not always visible to the eye. It is the unseen work happening inside of you while you are frustrated, restless, or feeling unprepared. The truth is, you are not behind schedule, you are not missing your moment, and you are not forgotten. What you are experiencing is preparation. You have been carrying weight, facing trials, and navigating seasons that felt too heavy, too long, too unfair. But that weight has been refining you. Pressure is not punishment. Pressure is potential being activated. The challenges you face are not designed to stop you. They are designed to strengthen you, sharpen you, and equip you to handle the life that is coming. Somewhere along the way, you have believed that delay equals denial, that struggle equals failure, that difficulty equals defeat, and that lie has caused you to question your worth, doubt your purpose, and lower your expectations. But every delay in life is a teacher, every setback is a mentor, and every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. There is a difference between being stuck and being prepared. Stuck is when you resist change, when you refuse to grow, when you fight against the natural course of life. Preparation is when you embrace the hard lessons, when you allow your character to be stretched, and when you trust that the work happening now is creating the conditions for your breakthrough. You must understand that the voice of fear has been talking to you longer than the voice of faith. Fear has convinced you that you are too late, too broken, too small, too ordinary, too incapable. But the voice of faith whispers truth. You are bigger than your circumstances, stronger than your struggles, and more capable than your doubts. When you learn to trust that voice, when you allow it to lead you, you will begin to see opportunities that fear has been hiding from you. You will start to notice doors opening that you didn't even know existed. You will feel a strength rising inside you that no hardship can extinguish. The next level of your life will require release. You cannot hold onto the past and step into the future at the same time. Some relationships will have to end. Some habits will have to die. Some thoughts will have to be demolished. Your comfort zone will be challenged. Your sense of certainty will be shaken, and it is in that discomfort, in that shaking, in that demolition, that your true potential will finally be revealed. You will realize that what you thought was a loss was actually a setup. What you thought was a failure was actually a lesson. What you thought was a dead end was actually a redirection. It is time to stop negotiating with your excuses. It is time to stop allowing fear to draft the blueprint for your life. It is time to stop believing that timing is out of your control. Delay is not denial. Pressure is not punishment. Obstacles are not opposition. They are opportunities for refinement. The struggle is not disqualification. It is preparation for the life that is coming. Every season you have endured, every storm you have faced, every challenge that felt unbearable has been shaping you into a person who is ready to receive what has been waiting for you all along. Your breakthrough is coming, not because life is easy, but because you have been strengthened, sharpened, and prepared to walk into it with a mind that refuses to settle for anything less than extraordinary.